This is Becca. She's going to be doing her mock driving test today. She's not quite ready to pass, but that's the whole point in the video. Hopefully there's some mistakes, and that way you can learn from it. You can learn what is and isn't acceptable on the driving test in the UK. So, how are you feeling today, Becca? Do you feel ready?
A little bit nervous.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and get your examiner.
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Terry. What would you like me to call you?
Becca's fine.
Becca. Okay. Well, would you like me to tell you about your driving test?
Yeah.
It's going to be between 38 and 40 minutes long on various roads.
Yeah.
There may be some sat-nav or following the signs. There may be the emergency stop, and there will be one manoeuvre. Please follow the road ahead unless I say left or right, or road signs or traffic road markings direct you otherwise.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you can move away when it's safe, and I'll give you directions to begin with.
Thank you.
I'm quite impressed at how Becca manages to turn the car on whilst putting it in gear, whilst setting the gas and starting the check to see if it's safe to go, all at the same time. This is not how I teach pupils to drive. That's far too complicated. We tend to do things one at a time, but Becca seems to have figured this one out for herself. I'm a bit concerned about how her foot is over the gas pedal though. It looks like she's about to slip off. But she's controlling the car well, and I'm completely unaware of this because Becca's driving position means I can't see her feet. I'm sure she doesn't usually have her foot over the gas pedal this way, or she would occasionally slip off, and I would have noticed by now during her lessons. At the end of the road, please turn left. Mirrors, signal and approach speed is excellent. Becca manages to control the car at a very low speed to safely improve her view before she pulls out of this very closed junction. It's good to see that her foot has a better placement over the gas pedal now. Hopefully Becca follows the signs. There is a bus lane ahead, and I'm not going to tell her. This is her responsibility to notice this and follow the road signs and markings as I explained at the beginning of the test. Good to see Becca checking her mirrors for moving out and then back in for the parked car. She followed the sign successfully, went when the oncoming car was giving way, and was ready to let the car in the new road finish passing the parked cars. At the end of the road, please turn left. Good use of mirrors before returning to the correct side of the road to turn left, and excellent control over the car on approach to the junction. To help with your planning, at the traffic lights you will be going left. Checking her mirrors before starting to move again in traffic would be better, but in my experience it's very unlikely that this would be marked on test unless something bad happens. You want to be checking your mirrors before you start, just in case someone's trying to squeeze past you like a cyclist. I would now like you to follow the road signs to all other routes. She has chosen the correct lane for the roundabout. Good control over the car and correct mirrors and signal. Keeping it within her lane nicely, many people cut this bend and end up going into the lane next to them. Late taking this opportunity at the roundabout on a test that would likely be marked as a minor for undue hesitancy. Safe and prompt lane change to leave the roundabout in the correct lane for following the road ahead. As I haven't told her where to go after the roundabout, she needs to assume she'll be going ahead, which is generally the left lane. A smooth and controlled stop at the traffic lights, and selects first gear when the car is nearly stationary, which is a good habit. Many cars won't allow you to select first until they are nearly stopped. Selecting first gear at speed stresses first gear's synchromesh. Becca makes use of the speed limit and achieves the full 40 miles per hour she's allowed to use when it's safe, before gradually and comfortably slowing down to an appropriate speed and gear before the roundabout. Good decision at the roundabout, signalled appropriately, and she seems to be following the signs successfully. Again, it's good that she's getting up to speed on the faster 40 mile per hour road when it's safe to do so. Stay in this lane. You see the traffic sign? Going to London. I prevented her from changing into the right lane there, as I gave a late direction due to the sign being hidden, and I couldn't remember if it said all other routes or London. This was my error, not hers. Examiners will always give you directions in plenty of time at big roundabouts. However, they expect you to follow the road ahead at mini roundabouts and crossroads if they don't say anything. Making good use of the speed limit. I will be giving you directions from here.
Okay.
So you won't be following the signs now. Please take the next road on the left. Not an easy junction to do from high speed, but she did it well. Slowed the car down smoothly and safely. And if you could pull over at the side of the road, but stay on the road, please. Thank you. Move away when it's safe. A few too many revs on that hill start. To be fair, it's a steep hill, but using that many revs on a regular basis at the clutch bite point will wear the clutch prematurely. However, it wasn't too bad and unlikely to get a minor mark from an examiner. At the end of the road, please turn left. Another very good junction. Nice smooth start. She made good use of the speed limit on this road and maintained a good position. Nothing much happened though, so I'll speed this bit up. I would like you to follow the signs again, this time to Hive. Spelled H-Y-T-H-E. Along this road nothing much happened for a while, so nice approach to the traffic lights and another good start. Oh dear, the sign said Hive is ahead, yet Becca is in the left lane, and on this particular road you have to go left in the left lane.
I'm gonna have to go left now, aren't I?
Do what you would normally do.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong lane, so.
She went the wrong way, but did it mostly safely. The only problem was the lack of a signal, so that would be a minor for signal necessary. So I'll give you directions from here.
Sorry.
To help with your planning, at the next roundabout you will be going right.
Okay.
A safe lane change. She slowed down a bit so she didn't get too close to the van in front. At the next roundabout, please go right, taking the 5th exit. Good speed and position approaching the roundabout, correct use of signals, and good speed and position around the roundabout and leaving the roundabout. I would like you to try to continue to follow the signs to Hive again.
Yeah.
Take 2. You may find it easier to use the middle lane on this roundabout.
Okay.
There's no way of you knowing that until it's too late, which is why I'm telling you. Dealt with that roundabout well, apart from signalling late to go left, so that would be a minor for signal timed. Not a lot happens over the next minute or so, so I'll speed it up. Followed the signs well, good speed and position, another excellent roundabout. Nothing much happens over the next minute, so I'll speed things up. You may find it easier to use the right lane. I helped Becca with lane choice here, as there was no way of knowing she needed the right lane to go ahead until she was so close that it was too late. She initially stopped before the keep clear area when there is space after, but as the space is so small and hard to judge, that's not a problem. Not a lot happens for a while, so I'll speed things up again. Please take the second road on the right, the first we are passing now. She checked her mirrors, signalled right, slowed down appropriately and kept a good position throughout this right turn. I would like you to enter the car park on the right, in between the yellow posts. Please be careful of other vehicles manoeuvring in the car park. Good that she returned to her side of the road to give way to the oncoming car before turning into the car park. Please go left in the car park, and I would like you to reverse into any parking space you wish.
That's definitely not right. Oh, I've ruined it. It's the worst I've done it.
Finished?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll go and check.
Okay.
Looks like she did well. It's easily within the lines on the sides. The front is overhanging a small amount, but these are short bays. The bays on test are usually longer than this, and she's quite close to the fence behind her. Good regular observations throughout the manoeuvre and good control over the speed of the car. However, she did have to reposition the car and it took her a while. Usually the examiners give a minor for control if the driver needs to reposition the car a lot. She only repositioned once, but with the time it took also, in my experience, she would get a minor for control. Thank you very much. If you could leave the car park and turn right, please.
Yeah.
It's good that she checks to see if anyone's coming before she passes the parked cars. At the end of the road, right. There was a van on the left that spooked her, but as the van stopped moving for a while, she should have continued. So this is a minor for undue hesitancy. It's good that she allowed the oncoming car to finish passing the parked cars. She moves to the left to improve her view and see if anyone is already coming. Smart move. Good speed, giving the oncoming car enough time to move into the space. End of the road, left. Another excellent junction. Good mirrors, signal, approach speed and decision. She got up to a good speed when there was plenty of space and she could stay a safe distance from the parked cars. Then she slowed down for the oncoming cars when there was less space. Safely slowed down for the narrow space again. Becca should have held back further from the bus and more to the right to try and see round it to see if she could pass it. However, she's lucky because just as she gets there, the bus starts moving. Mini roundabout, please go left. Please take the next road on the right. I only saw Becca check her right side mirror before signalling when she should have checked both the centre and right mirror, and she didn't check her mirrors before moving into the waiting area in the middle of the road. As her mirror check was too old to change position, this will be a minor for mirrors changing direction. It was a squeeze to pass this oncoming car and it wasn't busy. Becca should have let them finish passing the parked cars. This would be a minor for judgment meeting. And the next road on the left, please.
This one.
It's good that she's reducing her speed when it's narrow because of the oncoming car. At the end of the road, left. It's a good job she looked both right and left before emerging from this junction, as there was a car approaching from the left on the wrong side of the road because it was having to pass parked cars. Many people make the mistake of only checking right when they're turning left. At the end of the road, right. She dealt with that junction safely and comfortably. If you could turn the wipers off now as it's not raining. At the mini roundabout, please turn left. It's unlikely that a driving examiner would tell a candidate to turn the windscreen wipers off if it stopped raining, but as I'm making a video, I think it will make for better viewing if there isn't a wiper blade continuously going in front of the camera. Another good junction from Becca. That mini roundabout felt very safe and comfortable. At the roundabout, please go right, third exit. Again, she only checked her right side mirror before signalling right. She should be checking her centre and right mirror. Dealt with the roundabout excellently again. Good speed, good position and good use of mirrors when she was changing lane to leave the roundabout. At the roundabout, please go ahead, second exit. Good approach speed, good observations, excellent position and good signal timing. And please move to the right lane when it's safe. At the roundabout, I would like you to go ahead, second exit, using this right lane. Also exit in the right lane as well, please.
Yeah.
That was a safe lane change and excellent approach speed, position, observations and signal at the roundabout. I would like you to go right at the next two mini roundabouts. The silver van is a shield. Took her shield well on the first mini roundabout. Missed her first shield, which was the black car. This will likely be a minor for undue hesitancy because it was an easy opportunity. Did an excellent job taking the next shield, which was a more difficult opportunity. Exits in the right lane when she should be in the left on this dual carriageway unless she is overtaking or turning right. She reached 35 miles per hour in a 30 zone just before the 50 mile per hour speed limit change. This may be a serious mark for use of speed. A serious mark is a fail. Manages a hill start using the car's hill hold assist instead of using the handbrake, which is fine as long as she's in control. takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, but does make the most out of the 50 mile per hour zone. This is now a 70 mile per hour road, and the conditions mean 70 miles per hour is possible. Becca is staying at around 60 miles per hour though, so that would be a minor for appropriate speed.
Can't remember if it's 70. I think it is.
Becca confesses that she doesn't know the speed limit. Not a smart thing to do. You should know the speed limits in the highway code before taking the driving test. Examiners are likely to fail you if they believe you don't know the speed limit of the road that you're on. Please take the next road on the left. It's coming up soon. Brought the speed down gently and safely for the junction. Pull over in a safe place at the side of the road. Checked her mirrors before pulling over and stopped in a good position. Thank you. Move away when it's safe, please. That's a sensible speed for this narrow bend. Although she is staying a bit slow on this straight. Oh dear, indeed. She put it into neutral instead of in gear, but she realised what she did and sorted it out. Good to see she's picking up some speed on these straights now. Changing gear late there. Ideally, this should be done before the bend. Overall, a very sensible speed on this road so far. Instead of slowing down for the truck, Becca steered into a big hole. We didn't know what was in the hole or how deep it was, so it could have damaged the car. I've had a pupil do this on test on this exact same road and they did fail for it. If I remember correctly, they got a serious mark under position, normal driving. But on that occasion we weren't so lucky as my tyre was damaged and needed replacing. Becca should have slowed down more when she saw the oncoming vehicle and possibly stopped instead of driving off the usable road surface at speed. She did slow the car down eventually, but that was after she passed the vehicle. Could you clear the window please from the water? Of the water, should I say. And just after this road on the left, please pull over at the side of the road. I'm going to ask you to do the emergency stop on this road if it's safe. And my signal for you to do the emergency stop is I'll put my hand out and say stop. Yeah. Only do the emergency stop if I put my hand out and say stop. If it's not safe, we won't do it. You may see me look behind first to make sure it's safe. And you can continue when you're ready.
Okay.
We're not going to do the emergency stop now because there's a car behind. If you could pull over at the side of the road again, please. We'll let the car pass and we might get another shot at it. Okay, so we may do the emergency stop again, same signal. I'll put my hand out and say stop. Stop. Thank you. I won't ask you to do that again. Okay. Move away when it's safe, please. A bit soft at the very beginning of the stop, but she reacted well. Got to full braking soon enough and let the ABS do its job. All new cars sold in the EU since 2004 have ABS. She checked both blind spots before moving away, which she needs to do after the emergency stop as she is nearer the middle of the road. Good speed on this road. She reached 39 miles per hour before slowing down for the oncoming car. It is a 60 road. If it's straight and no one's coming the other way and the conditions are good, I would expect to see 40 plus miles per hour down a road like this. End of the road left, please. Becca is staying at around 30 miles per hour on this road. It's still a 60 that's about to become a 40. She may get a minor mark for appropriate speed. Now she has seen the 40 sign, she is speeding up. and pull over in a safe place on the left, please. Move away when it's safe again, please. Good observations, control and position for the stop. Slow down, please. It's a 30 here.
Sorry, I just noticed that.
And please take the next road on the left. She appears to have missed the speed limit sign. I've had to tell her to slow down, so this will be a serious mark for use of speed. Sorry, we can't go on the wrong side of the island.
Oh, I thought the island. Oh, so done worse today than I have my last few lessons.
Keep focusing, please. I had to stop Becca from passing the island on the wrong side of the road. There are 2 signs on the island giving the order to keep left, so she must pass the island on the left. The street sweeper has a sign to keep right, which means she must pass on the right of the sweeper. As she can't make it past the sweeper and back to her side of the road before the island, she will need to wait for the sweeper to pass the island before overtaking. So that in itself should be a serious for response to signs, signals, traffic signs. The main issue here though is the fact it's a long way to get past the street sweeper and then past the island. In that time, a vehicle may come round that bend. So I took action to keep us safe, and as a result, this will be marked as a dangerous for judgment overtaking. Taking into account her view and how much time and space she needed on the other side of the road, this felt like a safe overtake. And next road left, please. Becca coasted almost the whole way down that hill. She intended to change to second gear, but was already in second. Given her intentions to change gear and the low speed, I doubt this will be marked on a driving test. please pull over next to the wall on this hill. Move away when it's safe, please.
Obviously not.
Becca did have the bite point, but not quite enough to prevent her from rolling back. But the amount she moved back was tiny. It could be better, but this was an acceptable hill start. At the end of the road, please turn left. She is coasting again downhill. She went for the gear stick and did nothing. This is happening repeatedly now. This will likely be a minor for control clutch. If you can pull up just before the white car, about a car length before it, please. So nice and close. Just going to take the wheel as you're going to hit the curb. If you can get a bit closer, please, when it's safe. If you hit the curb hard enough or mount it on test, this will likely be a serious mark and therefore a fail. However, if you were to brush the curb gently, this will only likely be a minor. I don't let my pupils hit the curb, mock test or not, for the protection of my car. So I take the wheel instead of waiting to see how badly they damage the wheels and tyres. Becca was trying to creep forwards in third gear. This will also likely be a minor mark, and she wasn't considering the cars passing her as she was starting and stopping. I've had pupils fail for doing this in the past. If you stop at the side of the road, you should check it's safe before moving forwards again, even if it's only for a car length or two. I'm going to take the wheel again, she's going to hit the curb there.
Is that close enough?
No, one car length closer than this. That'll do, thank you. And move away when it's safe again, please. Good control and observations for the angle start. At the mini roundabout, please turn right. Good that she is using the windscreen wipers when it starts raining. This is her responsibility.
driving so bad today.
Sensible speed on the speed bumps. Please take the next road on the left. If you can pull up on the left, please, in between these cars.
Shall I reverse a little bit?
Yes, please. That's the end of your test. If you could turn the engine off, please. I'm sorry to say that you didn't pass this one.
Yep.
But Richard's been observing, so I'm going to let him do the debrief and explain why. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Right. I'm back. So, you failed. Unfortunately. Not a bad drive overall, though.
That was shocking for me, I feel.
The quality of the drive was quite good. You're under a bit more pressure because you're being filmed. But how you were controlling the car felt like someone who was good at driving. However, you did make some mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the main mistakes with Becca on camera and then give a more detailed debrief off camera, because you've already had a very detailed debrief by watching through the video, and I've been commentating on any problems there has been. If I go back from the end of the test backwards, because that's when my memory is at its freshest, and I can draw back and I'll tell you where you've gone wrong. So I had to take the wheel because you were going to hit the curb on 2 occasions there. Now on your test they'll let you hit the curb. I'm not going to let you hit the curb because it's not good for your tyres. You hit the curb with your tyres, then your tyres can blow out when you're driving at high speed. So it's best to look after those. If you brush the curb very gently, you'd probably get away with it on the test. So you want to be a bit more careful there. You came in a bit early to be stopping only a car length from that car. And then you kept moving forwards in 3rd gear.
Oh God.
And I don't think you're aware of the cars that are passing you. It's not a good idea to move forwards when cars are passing, because they might want to pull in front of you. So that would be a serious issue. Depending on how much you hit the curb. But generally speaking, if a pupil moves forwards on test, when cars are passing them without checking, making sure it's safe, they tend to fail in my experience. Okay, we'll go back further now. And there was a 30. And you're doing around about 35 and you're accelerating. And we got to that 30 and I had to say, you know, that's a legal speed now.
Yeah.
Slow down. And just as I said it, you noticed, but that was too late.
Yeah.
Going back further now, we were on the country road, did the 40.
Was the island a problem? That would have, yeah.
Oh, yep. Forgot about that. I did, didn't I?
Forgot about that. I'm never going to live that down now.
Yeah, you can't pass on the other side of the island. If it's a stationary vehicle, fair enough.
Yeah.
People shouldn't block it, but you should do all you can to pass on the correct side of the island, because obviously you get stuck there.
Yeah.
So I had to use the brake there. And that would be considered a dangerous on test. If the examiner has to take control of the vehicle,
fail.
It would be a dangerous. They wouldn't have taken control of the vehicle when you got too close to the curb, because they'll just let you hit it.
Yeah.
So that would be a serious, but you were going to go around the island there on the wrong side, so I stopped you from doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully I don't miss any more, but of course in the video I won't miss anything, so I'll go for it. I haven't written it down, I'm just trying to remember this here. We did, you weren't sure about the speed limit on the country road. It was still 60 and you were staying at 30, but luckily it wasn't for very long.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the 40 you sped up, but really you should have been slowing down to the 40 there, because that was a 60 road still.
Yeah.
Emergency stop, not a problem. That was good. Would like to do it at a higher speed, but I could see a car in the distance. Yeah, there's a car in the distance to come around that bend. I thought, well, if I don't do it now, we're not going to be able to do it. So I got you to do it then. It was a little bit soft at the beginning. You need a brake harder earlier, but you did get the brakes down hard enough and quick enough. It could be better though. And you did your observations before moving away.
Yeah.
You nearly took us off the road on the country road. That made me nervous. That did.
Yeah.
So you're making me nervous. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
There's a van coming the other way.
With the trailer.
I think it was a truck or a van or something with a trailer,
yeah.
Big thing. You overreacted.
He was hogging a part of our, when he was doing the corner, probably because of his
But you didn't give them a chance to move over. You should have slowed down.
Yeah, I did feel really too fast for that. I think that's why.
You shouldn't go off the road at speed. Took us into that big hole there.
Yeah.
If you needed to stop, you should have stopped.
Yeah.
But you don't just steer the car off into the bush because a car's coming the other way. That's definitely a serious there.
Yeah.
Because that made me feel scared. If it made me feel scared, that's bad.
Yeah.
So you should be at a speed where if a big tractor's coming around that bend, you're able to stop if you have to.
Yeah.
And that should be your reaction to not enough space. Typically a learner's reaction to not enough space is steer off the road, whereas a driver's reaction is to slow down and wait.
Yeah.
So you need to change that.
Okay.
The country road speed could have been a bit better. I think you're just about making the test standard there for how fast you're going. It was a bit slow though.
Yeah.
And particularly how you use your speed. So sometimes you're slowing down in the bends and changing gear after the bend. You should slow down on the straight, change gear on the straight, go around the bend and then accelerate.
Yeah.
So you want to go around that bend in gear. And you were coasting on quite a few occasions during the test. It's like you're going to change gear and then you didn't, and you're leaving the clutch down. You don't usually do that.
No, I know. I've been really bad today. I'm not going to.
And it's not a habit. Like often when it's a real problem, it's when the pupil has a habit of seeing a problem and pushing the clutch down because they saw a problem. For you there, it seemed to be you wanted to every time you had that clutch down, it's because you wanted to change gear and then you just left it down and then didn't do the gear change.
Yeah, because then
So
I realised
do the gear
I
change.
didn't need the change anymore. So I'll just bring it back up.
Bring it back up, but you're leaving it down for too long.
Okay.
But you know, it shouldn't be a reaction to a problem. I don't think that is though.
No.
Although I think maybe you need to think before you change gear a bit more, because you're probably thinking gear change, didn't need it.
Wasn't necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, slow down first and don't rush.
Okay.
So I'm back to the country road now in my head. Let's go further back than that. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. You did your hill start, you did your angle start. We stopped on the country road. Before the country road was dual carriageway. You were doing, getting a bit warm in here, I'll open this window. Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people do that there and they often get a minor on the test. Now I've got noisy birds. And I was thinking, you're doing 60 and a 70, it isn't the best quality road, minor. But then you told me you're done with the speed limit. You got to know the speed limits.
Yeah, I kind of knew it was 70, but...
Well, you told me you're not sure. You're supposed to know the speed limit. Don't tell me if you're not sure.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the speed limits, that should be a serious. You should know what the speed limits are. You should know what national is for the car. That's part of what you need to know to pass a driving test.
Yeah.
And earlier on than that as well, you went 35 and a 30 again. It's a 50 sign. We're not at the 50 yet, and you sped up before the 50 sign. You should have left in the left lane after those 2 mini roundabouts, but you left in the right lane, and then you were under pressure.
Over, didn't I?
Yeah, you were under pressure to accelerate and get into that left lane.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get stuck in the right lane, because you know that generally is.
There was a car behind in the left.
But you went over the speed limit.
Yeah.
And to pass a driving test, you have to be safe and legal. So now you're illegal. Whether the examiner would actually fail you for doing 35 there, I'm not 100% sure, because you were just getting to that 50 sign. But generally speaking,
it's quite a bit overfade.
In my experience, that much they tend to fail you, even if you're coming up to a speed limit sign.
Yeah.
You're speeding up too early, or you haven't slowed down in time enough. That's too much. And often they'll say you need to slow down or keep it within the speed limit.
Yeah.
And going back further, my memory's starting to get a little bit hazy now. Near the test centre, you probably don't know where that was.
No.
But you're very close to the driving test centre when you had to brake hard for a car coming out of a junction. And you stalled the car.
Yeah.
Now, again there, you're making me feel unsafe. So for me, that's a serious issue. There's parked cars on both sides of the road. You're going in at a speed where I'm worried that if a car's coming out, you're going to have to brake hard. And so be it. Good job for your lesson.
Yeah.
A car was coming out and you had to brake hard, didn't you? And so you actually stalled the car as well. That's not safe. Having to brake hard isn't safe. You're causing an emergency situation. You shouldn't be causing situations where you have to slam the brakes on.
No.
That's a very blind junction. Parked cars on both sides. You should be down to walking speed, first gear, going in there very slowly, fully expecting the car to be coming out of the middle of that road.
Yeah.
Before that though, before that point on your test, I can't remember currently. There might be something on video I'll pick up and remember, but in my brain right now, I can't remember another fault that would be a serious. And that was...
I do feel like it really went pear-shaped.
That was more than half the test there. It was good.
Yeah.
A few minor errors, but that's something else you need to work on. You make a small error and you let that...
Yeah, I do.
And you start swearing. And not only that, you don't even look where you're going. When you make an error, I see your focus go away from the road and I start seeing you looking at it. It's like you're having a bit of a strop, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. You've got to stay focused. You start doing that, you're not going to drive very well.
No.
So that error might not be that bad.
Yeah, you just got to move on and stay focused.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. If you think it's helpful, please give it a thumbs up and check out Collingwood and Confused in the description if you're looking for car insurance. If you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, Collingwood are there for you, because you can do so without affecting the owner's policy, and via the link at the moment there's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card. If you want to insure your own car, check out the link to confused.com. With Confused, you fill out one quote form and get loads of quotes back from many insurers to compare who's cheapest. And also you can change your car on that quote as many times as you like, which is handy when you're trying to compare how much it costs to insure different cars. Using the links doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel, so thank you very much. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.